What's going on, fellas? In this video, I want to talk about why working out makes people respect you. Okay. And I don't necessarily mean like the act of working out, like going to the gym just to lift weights. That's gonna make people respect you. Like, oh yeah, man, you go to the gym. That's great. I respect you. Nah, I mean more of like the results that you get from going to the gym. I mean building a nice physique, building your frame. Once you start doing this and carrying that through the world, that's what I mean. How people start respecting you, or they have to start respecting you almost. So I was talking to a good friend of mine the other day, man. We was catching up. We don't get to talk all the time. And when I say a good friend of mine, it's probably like one of my best friends, man. This dude that's really looked out for me throughout my life. And I've watched this young man. He's younger than me. I watched him grow up, evolve as a man. And so we always have real deep conversations about life. So we were catching up about, he's about to have his second kid. And he just got married, a couple months ago, I think, right? And I don't want to put too much of his business out there, but I want to share some of it just for context of the video. So my boy's about to have a kid, his second kid. And if you're like me, who has kids, maybe you didn't plan your kids, right? So, it's like something, kid about to pop up, and that can have you spiraling and in a certain mental state, right? So my boy is kind of like going through some things like that, all right, without saying too much. And he's also working to become an electrician, right? And so he's like doing this apprenticeship, and he's been doing it for a couple years now. But he's always talking about how like he works on this crew, and they, some ball busters. They're like old white heads. He's a white dude too. The guy I'm telling you about, he's white dude too. But these like some old white heads, Southern boys, you know, what they joke about, what they joke about. And my boy, he real chill, laid back dude, man. He was in the food industry just like me, in the serving industry. So he's working a job now that it's new to him too. The physical aspect of it, having to use his hands and his body more and be more involved in that way. So he's learning how to do this electrical shit, how to carry wires, how to install things. So the dudes that he worked with, they be busting his balls, right? So we have these conversations. He's explained to me like, I'm like, yo, how's the job going, man? Still kind of the same shit. This one particular person always talking shit this way, this one. And so it's like this constant, he's like in this cycle of he's dealing with stuff at his home, and then he's dealing with the stuff with his job. It's kind of a double whammy, right? Which is like life. We all go through this type of stuff, right? And so we're talking, man. I talked to my boy for like 90 minutes, man. We was on the phone for about an hour and a half, catching up. He was telling me, he's like, man, I'm feeling depressed, bro. Like with the situation with his kid, his dynamic that he has with his lady and stuff that he's got going on in his life. So he's depressed. He's kind of feeling stuck in a certain moment. And it seems like to me when he's talking about his job, it's almost like he don't get no respect from these motherfuckers at his job, right? So doing what I do, I listen, I reflective listen, and then I ask you some questions, man. I asked my boy, I was like, man, I asked him straight up, man, like, are you still not working out? And the reason I asked him this, and he already knows my vibe and my energy and where I come from, and he's seen me grow too as an individual. Me and him was both skinny ass dudes working at Outback Steakhouse together. We worked at a couple places together, and so he's seen me grow too as an individual. So I was like, man, you still not working out, huh? And it's not to judge him or anything. I was like, bro, you gotta get in the gym. Here's what I see going on. You're not getting any respect. You don't get respected by your coworkers, bro. And more than likely, they are probably just busting your balls. You know what I'm saying? And he's kind of a sensitive guy too. He's not a ball buster himself. He's not somebody that's going to be like somebody say something to you, hey man, bring me that ratchet over there. Man, shut the fuck up and get it yourself. Like he really don't do that type of stuff, And I don't necessarily speak that way myself either. I'm more like professional. I keep it cool. I can make a joke and have some banter. So me and him are kind of similar in that way. So when I asked him about, are you working out? And he was like, nah. And I'm like, you're not even, you need to start doing some push-ups or something, bro, at the crib. And the reason that I'm telling him about this is because when you start working out, bro, and start like really taking yourself seriously and putting some muscle on your body, like especially if you're a really skinny cat, like you 120 pounds, 125 pounds, like when you're really little, I feel like you are a target for ridicule. You are a target for people's jokes. You know what I mean? Like you don't really get respected. And it's almost like your opinions don't don't hold that much weight either. Like the words that come out your mouth, my bad about the sirens driving by, but it's almost like your your opinions, what your thoughts are about something, like it's almost like people don't really give a damn. Yeah, they nice, they're polite, we got to work with you, but like on a subconscious level, how you look plays into how people perceive you. If you look weak and fragile and frail, people are gonna look at you like this dude is not capable. He doesn't look like he knows how to twist that ratchet. Hey, you doing that right over there, buddy? You need some help? That's the type of shit, that's the type of energy that you're gonna get. So I always say, man, like to counteract that, not even to counteract just the ridicule, but to counteract the shit you got going on at your house too. Like how my boy was telling me, I'm feeling depressed, bro. Like, I mean, he going through some super deep shit. And like I said, I ain't gonna peel back every layer of that, but to the point where like, that shit knocks you down, man, has your days feeling off. And I'm like, man, you got to start working out. Hey, yo, y'all, excuse me too, man. It's early, so I'm drinking my coffee too. But I was like, bro, you got to start working out to counteract this shit. And I'm talking to him on the phone, and I start going into my whole, pretty much like what I talk about in my videos, right? Like, bro, you got to, you ain't getting no respect, man. You know what I'm saying? You still got that skinny frame. They gonna look at you like you a little kid. You got a great personality. You got charisma, man. You sharp in that way, but you don't have your frame is not matching it. And also, I was breaking it down for him, like, bro, it's not just about working out for muscles. It's about working out for functional strength, man. For like everyday shit, lifting, bending, picking things up. Maybe you're carrying I don't know what they call it technically, but you got some electrical wiring over your shoulder. You got to carry. Maybe you got to go up a ladder. I don't know, but like being functionally strong in that sense, that's what gets you respect too, man. When people see that, man, he can do hard shit. You know, we feel like we can trust him and we know he's not going to fuck up the assignment or the task. Look at his physique. He's built for it. That's what starts happening subconsciously when you start working out, and it starts taking people's respect. They know that they can depend on you. They know that they can rely on you. You'll get the job done. Maybe you won't. What I'm saying is like your physique gives off that impression that you can handle shit. And if you don't look like that, you might get some of this ridicule. You might get these jokes. You might get the constant, busting of your balls. I remember I used to experience that, man, when I was younger. When I was like, in my late teens, 20s, when I was super scrawny. I remember living out in California, and I've talked about this in some of my videos, not to get off too much on a tangent, but I remember I used to get like, it would be like the roasting, the clowning, and I feel like looking back on it now, my physique wasn't right. If my physique was a little bit better, I wouldn't get that type of energy. And I know that now because of where I am now in my life, where now all I get is fist bumps and head nods. That's pretty much the language I get communicated in because of, you know, how I started to take care of my physical well-being and how it shows in the world. And that's what'll happen with you too. So to get back to what I'm saying, man, so pretty much my boy is going through that shit. And I'm trying to tell him, yo, man, you need to start working out, man. And he's starting to kind of hear it. He's like, yeah. He's like, man, honestly, man, like, that probably would help me, man, because I do be lifting a bunch of heavy shit. And I'm telling him, I'm like, bro, it's not just about the muscles, bro. It's about your discipline that you'll start getting from this, man. Like, you got tough shit going on in your life right now, man. And if you're not pouring into yourself in some capacity, I don't mean just playing video games. That's cool if you do that too. Do that in moderation. If that's fun, if that kind of eases your evening after a long day of work. But when you start working out and you start developing routine for yourself, structure for yourself, that self-confidence in yourself. When somebody says something to you at your job, that shit washes over you. And another thing is you probably won't get that shit said to you at your job because people are going to look at you differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are going to look at you in the sense of like, actually, it's not even how they look at you, it's how you start looking at yourself. You'll step into it, you step around a bunch of different personalities and different energy and be like, I know who the fuck I am. You can talk that shit if you want to, bro. Look at me. Look at me. You know what I mean? And it's not like from ego, it's not to flex. But if you're getting met with a certain type of energy where somebody trying to clown, somebody trying to roll, yeah, learn how to laugh it off. But deep down, and they know that you put in work that they can never match. And that in of itself, that level of knowledge in of itself that you have within yourself, bro, that shit is like priceless. Nobody can take that from you. And that knowing of yourself is what really starts to bleed over into all your interactions, especially in the workplace too. You will start to get respected because it becomes your default. Respect comes your default. People have to approach you a certain way. People have to address you and kind of like not walk on eggshells around you. I don't mean to say that. That's kind of extreme, but kind of it is like your physique, your energy keeps people on their toes. Don't be talking to me in a fucking crazy ass way. What's wrong with you, old man? That's the type of energy that starts to develop. It's a respect thing. You know, you respect your elders, but it's also like, it's more of like, haha, yeah. Like you'll start getting different comments like, haha, yeah, oh, you're in the gym, huh? See, your shirt's getting a little tighter or whatever. You start getting like, they'll start making clowning and making jokes that way, but it's coming from a level of respect. It's not coming from a level of, damn, do I need to show you how to do that again? What is this, the third or fourth time? That type of shit where it's like subtle jabs coming your way as if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. As if they don't trust your ability to handle shit. That's the energy you'll get when your frame looks, frail. Like you can't handle shit. And that's unfortunately that's the reality of it. Especially so that's what I was saying, man. Like, if you're a skinny dude, man, you feel like invisible, you feel like people walk all over you, just talk shit to you, make jokes to you, that you may internalize and personalize, man. Like get in the gym. And it's not even about getting in the gym, start doing push-ups at your house. And another thing my boy started realizing, man, he started like hearing what I was saying, and he was like, man, damn, if I start working out, man, I could like take my son too. I was like, hell yeah. He got a 13-year-old boy starting to play sports and shit. I'm like, exactly, bro. I go to the gym with my son. He doesn't work out. He's still too young, but he's developing that routine with his dad. My dad goes to the gym. When I go visit dad, I go to the gym too. I get to use my Switch or my tablet, and I might be sitting over here and dad's over there doing his thing. But just that routine of doing that, that's going to develop something with your son too. For those of you who are watching this that has kids as well. If you don't got kids, you ain't got to worry about that shit. But what I'm saying is, my boy started seeing what I was saying, right? I was like, hell yeah, man. Like, you and your son can start making a routine out of this or whatever that looks like for you, man. And he's like, yeah, man, I really need to start changing. And then he goes into like, bro, so tell me like when you first started, because he was telling me too, he's like, man, I remember when you first started, bro. Like, what were you eating? And that's the whole thing too, man. It's like when he asked me that question, I realized, excuse me, a lot of folks want to work out, a lot of dudes want to take care of themselves, but they don't know the steps. You know what I mean? They don't know what you're supposed to eat. And he was telling me, he's like, man, it's not really about the working out thing. It's like the eating thing. Like my diet is messed up. He's like, can you send me something? So right then I was just like, hell yeah, man, I'll get you something. I'll get something sent to you, right? And the only reason I'm sharing this, man, is because like, I felt like just from a conversation, I was able to unlock my boy's kind of like way of seeing something. And he was telling me this too, man. He's like, bro, that's why I call you, man. He's like, you always got like a solution. And I was just like, that makes me feel good to hear that as a friend. But I'm not the problem solver for everybody. I only share with what's worked for me in my life. That's what I do in these videos too, for y'all. I just try to share information, tips, tools that I've picked up that have enhanced how I experience life. Or what I like to say is how life experiences you. When you start working out, it's like life experiences you. You don't start, it's not like you're experiencing it anymore. You are, it's weird. It's weird what I'm saying. It's like, but people start experiencing you differently, man. Your coworkers experience you differently. Women you be around, your kids, they all start experiencing you as the individual on a different level. Like, damn, this person's identity has shifted. He's no longer this skinny, frail, fragile person who I subconsciously think I can make jokes to and bust his balls all the time because I think he can take. Like, what you gonna do to me? Like, think about that. When you look at somebody super skinny, it's like, what you gonna do to me? I'll say whatever the fuck I want to say to you. What you gonna do? You gonna laugh it off and smile. Now that's an individual who does that. Who kind of pokes fun, or they got their own issues. That's a whole nother video that I don't need to even get into. But if you want to step out of that cloud of invisibility, of that cloud of like not being respected as a man, that's what it is too, man. As you get older, man, you start to realize I'm not getting the level of respect I should be getting. It's because you're not pouring into yourself in a way and developing something that people can respect. Yeah, you might have a nice smile. You might be charming. When you on a physical job, you on some manual labor type shit, people don't look at it. They look like, can you move some shit? Yeah, you got a nice smile, but can you move some shit while you're smiling? Do I got to tell you 4 and 5 times how to move something? Do I got to help you lift it? People don't respect that. So you got to put yourself in a position to where you can do some things. Put yourself in a position to where you're more capable. People can rely on you more. This is going to build respect. And how you do that naturally is to move heavy shit. Move heavy shit until it's not heavy anymore. And just keep doing that over and over again and watch how your life changes. Watch how people start looking at you like, damn, that motherfucker goes and gets it. They start calling on you. Hey, man, can you help me with this? Can you help me with this? Not do I need to help you for the third and fourth time. Can you help me? And then you start picking your spots like, nah, you got that, don't you? Then start hitting some push-ups and the script flips. That's what happens, man. And the world just starts seeing you in a whole different light, man. So, the point of the video, man, is really just no matter what you got going on in your life, man, whether you got some deep, dark shit, I suggest starting to work out because it's not, like I said, it's not just about looking in the mirror and seeing muscles. It's about what it does to your mindset too, what it does for your mental, the chemical cocktail that gets released when you lift heavy weights, the endorphins, the healthy dopamine, the delayed gratification, not that microwave shit that you need right now in the moment. That shit where you go to work where you go work out week after week after week after week, and you're seeing those results, but you ain't seeing them that same day. You're not seeing them for a couple days, for a couple weeks. That builds you up. That lets you know within yourself that, man, I can build myself up and I don't have to see the results right in this moment. I know they're coming. And that knowledge within yourself to know that those results are coming from the hard work you're putting in, bro, it's life changing. And when you start moving through life like that, little things don't trip you up anymore. Little comments that people make don't trip you up anymore. Yeah, they might say something slick. Hey, I'll see you in the gym though, right? I see you at the bench, knowing you ain't about to see them ever. But that becomes your ammunition. That becomes your little kickback, your little banter that you can throw back at them. Not to be a dickhead, you know what I mean? But you give yourself a little bit more armor, a little bit more energetic armor. And you notice I'm not talking about just the physical so much. The physical is going to come with it. Your muscles going to come with it. It's going to be a great thing when it happens. But your energy is going to improve. How you feel as a man is going to build up, man. So go build your foundation, man. All right. I hope that this video provided you with some value. If it did, please smash the like button, fellas. I really appreciate it, man. Y'all seem to be loving this type of content. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you know when I make more videos just like this, man. All right. If you enjoyed this one, make sure you check out another video just like it. I'll leave it on the screen. Also, make sure you check out my playlist on Body Game. I'll leave that floating around somewhere on the screen or in the description. I got you, fellas. But I'll see y'all in the next video. All right. Peace.